All right, thanks for everybody joining. Thanks to Leah for coming in, Sasha, Bianca. So let's get into it. All things Lovecraft Country. All right, so the first episode is called Sundown, and we figure out late in the episode why it was called Sundown because certain counties, north and south, were sundown counties, meaning that the colors, the Negroes, the blacks, had to be out of sight by sundown, or it was going to be a problem. All right, so let's get into it. So the opening scene. All right, so your first initial reaction when you first chimed in and watched the opening scene of him basically daydreaming about aliens and sci-fi situations, and incorporated because he was actually a vet from the Korean War, and he all incorporated it. I just thought that, first of all, I just felt like it just opened up with a bang. I was not expecting that. So what are your thoughts about that?
Oh man, for me, if I'm not muted,
No,
I
no.
was not expecting. I wasn't expecting any of that to happen, but I'm sci-fi crazy person. So when it happened, I'm like, oh shit, yes, 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 get into it. Seeing
Yes.
spaceships flying around, I'm like World War Z. I was done. I was done. I was like, yes, this is my kind of show. So I was hyped from the jump, like, oh, this what we doing? Okay, Lovecraft Country. Okay,
Yeah.
that was my first response.
Yeah. Talia, what was yours?
Yeah.
I had
I
a
had the
similar
same
response to
reaction.
it.
Go
Go ahead.
Okay. It was freezing on me a little bit.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had a similar response. I like to hop right into it. I like that it's not watered down sci-fi, but I do like that it's sci-fi. For people that's not fans, I think it definitely brings a new audience. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, Sash. What was your first, response of to the opening scene?
I mean, I had a similar reaction. I was just like, wait, what? Like, this is what it is? It caught me totally off guard because I really didn't know what the whole thing was and what to expect. I was kind of like making my own conclusion about what the show was even going to be. So for me, I was pleasantly surprised. I love sci-fi too, so it was bomb.
Yes. So I watched this. Oh, Lee, you look all good. I can see you. um, One thing I can say that I did not read the book, so I watching this. These are like first time eyes. So, and I want to keep it that way because I don't want to compare it. I don't want to compare, you know, it to the book. So that's one thing that I like. What I liked about me not reading the book and comparing it to anything. All right, so go into it. So he was, so moving forward, it goes to let you know this is around the Jim Crow era. You get a letter saying that his father's been missing, and he's on the bus after he got finished, daydreaming about the aliens and spaceships and everything like that. And he gets to, Chicago to be with his family. And then we will meet with Uncle George, and quickly we can see the dynamics of that family, because Uncle George and his wife, you could tell they was they was a loving couple, and when he just showed up on there, when Atticus, what they call him, Tick, it was like a loving embrace after not seeing him for a while. So I like that dynamic of it too. All right, so what do you? So moving on to when we first meet Letty and Ruby. What was your first initial response? Because I'm like, okay, Journey is about to give it to us. How she, we're not going to fast forward, but I'm just saying like the initial, the meeting of them, how we saw the dynamics of, we already know like a little backstory that Tick is a, war vet or whatever. And he, and then the dynamics of him and Uncle George have a good close-knit relationship. And then we move on to the next, and we see that Letty and her sister Ruby introduced us to Letitia, they call Letty. And we see her dynamics of her and her sister. So what do y'all think about that? Like, do you have any thoughts about their dynamics, how they introduced it? Because I love how they gave us character development just enough for us to see and not too much long drawn storyline out. So what was y'all, did y'all have like an opinion about it or whatever? How they showed the dynamics of Ruby and Letty, how they introduced us, how they was like, what are your thoughts about that? Everybody good?
No, hey everyone.
Hi, Emily. Thanks for joining us.
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning half of the question, or was that it? Just like
Yeah,
how they
no, so yeah,
introduced
moving on. You just like, what was your, so moving on, like the dynamics, how they do character development. They give us just enough by not giving us long, drawn out backstories about it, but you can currently, so you already know the dynamics of Letty and her sister Ruby, even though you can tell they love him, but you can tell there's some friction.
There's some tension, yes.
Yeah. So, all right, so we just go out.
I have a comment. So, like when I first saw Letty, well, in any scenario, when I see Journey, I just have this high expectation for her, and I know, okay, it's Journey. She's gonna be like co-star. She has a lot of spunk and a lot of fire. And so when you see the sisters, like the responsible sister and then the screw-up sister that's out there, you know, Letty was out there living her best life, but now Letty probably just got, you know, a little kicked down, so she had to come back home. But just the way that Journey is as an actress, they picked the perfect person for the role,
right?
Because she is going to give that to you. So I mean, we're on the first beginning, so I won't talk too much about her. But of course, right now she's like my favorite.
Right.
Even though I texted Pop today and was like, she getting on my nerves.
Letty got that fire. Letty got that fire.
Letty been out there in the world, as they would say, back in those Jim Crow days when everybody was, you know, going to church and trying to be. She was out in the world, so yeah, she definitely got that fire.
And it's Jim Crow, and Letty is fair skinned. So the differences of what she is experiencing as an African American woman are going to be totally different
from
what
her sister.
Yeah.
Another avenue that will be explored.
I feel like I just felt like from the beginning she was with the shits from the beginning. That's what I felt like she is with it, and she gonna test the water and kind of be right on that as well. I feel like. I like her character so far.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to tell y'all, I love the block party scene. That's when we got introduced really to Letty, because she came on the scene where they had this block party, and boy, with Rona going on, I miss a black block party. They was having a ball. And if I could be a shirt, I wish I was a shirt on Tick, because he came out there with that damn shirt with that white t-shirt on. What is the good sis over here eating?
Sounds good.
I'm eating a pretzel.
All right, so they got to the, you know, so we got to see the dynamics of them at the block party. So, and then they decided to briefly, I think it was an Easter egg planted in when Atticus started talking to Uncle George inside, I guess, low-key bookshop, aka car shop.
Yeah, I'm just kind of confused about that. What is that?
Listen, you know what I mean? They was black. It was a black community. They was like, look, we're going to do everything. We're going to be a bookstore. We're going to we're going to do astrology. We're going to fix your cars.
It's almost like the necessity. It's the necessity that we have to do today. It's like you have to have like this one-stop shop for your people.
Yeah, it was the Jim Crow era.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and he was talking about Lovecraft Country, that his dad had, you know, his dad Montrose had sent him a letter. And you know what? If you look at it, every time he brought up his dad and his mom, Uncle George was away about something like putting the book back, like, what do you mean you're dead? And he's still talking about his mom, your mom and her past. And he was like, and Tick was like, what do you mean? My mama never really talked about her past to my mom and dad. So right there was
I caught that.
You caught that too?
Yeah, the little nuggets. It's like little nuggets.
Like,
Mhm.
okay, so she must have been close to Uncle George too, you know, for him to be like putting
Let's
that.
have a secret or something.
Yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
more.
Acting in the
He wanted
bookstore.
to let on to him. So
Mm-hmm.
Uncle George.
Yes. All right. So they go travel to Lovecraft, right?
Child.
On their way,
Lord.
and they had the Green Book. So according to the Green Book, when they're going, they thought they were going to a colored safe diner. So when they get there, you know, Letty and her.
Child, Letty was like, "Get the F
Wait,
up
we
out
didn't
of
get to that,
here."
but she was like,
Yeah.
they ordered and the people was looking and they went in the back and she went to the bathroom and she heard something. She started stirring up there and was like, get the fuck out, I'm gonna get the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo.
That side, I was like, yo, Letty was,
Letty is a rider. Okay.
she was like, get your ass up, get the fuck out. And you know how the men was like, no, you're not going to drive. Look, she got their asses out of there though, didn't she?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I learned something about that episode too, because when they was looking around,
Yeah.
they was looking around and they was looking around. It was another thing they planned. They said, why did they paint the White House white? They said because it was a fire and the slaves had to rebuild and they wanted to paint over the burnt bricks.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made them look around and was like, oh, these bricks are white. And that's when Letty jarred out and was like, get your shit and get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah, we got to go.
Like we in the wrong spot.
Yes, they didn't
This ain't the
update
place
the Green
no
Book.
more. It's not the place anymore.
They
Update.
foreshadowed it from remember when they drove past the fire department, how they emphasized them looking at them, like that little quick scene, foreshadowing that they was going to be in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Because because they was looking at them and they was, even when Nettie was like, with her little glasses, like, oh, what you looking at? According to this Green Book, this should be a safe place, okay?
Yeah, they looking at safe.
Nah, not no more.
Listen, they got out of Dodge.
So it got burned down.
What was so like when you saw that scene and Letty was all, because it was like, get the fuck out. Was you like, oh my gosh, like did any adrenaline like?
Yeah, I was like, well, what? So I was wondering what was happening, but I kind of figured like, okay, these white folks was coming after them. They, you know, first I thought it was gonna be like some monsters popping out because I'm like, you know, where's this going? But then when she was running, that's when I was like, oh, they coming after them. They got to get them out of there.
Yes.
This ain't safe.
No, it's not. All right. All right, so we're gonna move on. So they got away. However, with the help of that shiny silver sedan, that was the next thing that was like, they got away, but then it was like,
who was
something
this?
supernatural happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they died. They got dead on that one, okay? She made they thing flip. They was like, on the side.
That's how I was like, okay, here come the crazy. Now it's really getting crazy. And I don't do sci-fi and stuff, so I was like, what is happening now?
Right.
Between my fingers.
So what was your so Sash, what was your initial reaction when you saw that? Did it take you for a loop?
Yeah, I was like, oh, like again, like what was the whole what's getting ready to happen? Like that was crazy. Came out of nowhere. I think I got a little bit of help. There's gonna be some craziness getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
What is it?
So Bianca, when the girl stepped out of the daggone, did you have a reaction when she stepped out of the silver sedan, as they call it on there?
No, I think I was that was a moment when I went to go get my rosé.
At first I was thinking like, okay, who is
you
this
know
white
when you
savior?
watching something so good, you're trying to run. So I had to run and go get my drink. So I
All right, so obviously there was some supernatural help right then and there. And it was deliberate because she wanted them to get somewhere safe. And how did she
Not really,
know that they
yeah.
were there in trouble? So it got right there. That was a connection of some sorts that she sensed that they were in some type of trouble. Well, Tick, of
Well,
course.
because my thing, and going back, this was what I was thinking. Because it kind of leads up to like something that the dad said. But did the dad really send a letter? Or was it her, like, I don't know. I was confused about that.
I think
He did.
I think
But did they send a letter because they wanted him to get, you know,
Man, you don't know.
they wanted him to get there so they
shit.
could do whatever they had to do, try to get to the Garden of Eden.
Because when he's in the cuffs and they in the yard, he was like, you sent me a letter. He was like, we ain't talking over 5 years.
Oh, that's episode 2. We ain't episode 2 yet.
Oh, child.
Listen, y'all, we still in 1.
Okay,
I'm like,
yeah, we near the end.
Order.
We near the end of episode 1 because the last part is that once they got away, they was driving and they
showed up at the place.
And then they was driving and they noticed that they were in. They pulled over so they can go to the bathroom and they, you know.
Oh, that's right.
When the popo came.
Yeah.
The loop.
And it was in a sundown town.
That's why.
Right, because I felt like they was kind of lost, right,
They
Lee?
was in a loop. They said they was like, we passed this 5 times. So clearly they must have put up some type of time or loop or whatever spell to make them keep going so that they would stay in that vicinity.
Right.
Yeah.
At sundown, at that.
Mm-hmm.
So they get caught by the popo. Popo come, and we already knew that because that picture of him was shown back when they were at the bookstore slash.
It was a trap. Yeah.
Right. Because he said, "How did you know my name?"
Mm-hmm.
But it was a trap, yes. So they said, okay, that's when they brought up down to sundown. Do you know what a sundown county is? And he was like, okay. He was like, y'all got until this time to get sundown. So I'm like, whoa. Yeah. When they got out of Dodge by sundown, I was like, thank you. And that wasn't the end.
Come on now.
I literally was doing the pee-pee dance for them.
No.
Yeah, as my brother.
Yes, and that's why the next thing I was like, oh.
But that's what they do to our people to hold us back. Like, you can't go from one thinking you're in a safe place, like, oh, I'm just gonna leave here and go here. It's the next setup, the next thing holding us back.
It was the next setup. It's sure.
So and the setup ain't
that's why
even
I be telling Brother Donald he need to watch the show, but then he'll go to the left. He'll go to the left on us, child. I'll be like, okay, help us. Never mind.
So Ash, what was your, was you on Ash too? When they was like rushing to the state's line to make sure they was at the next county.
Yes.
And then they made it.
Right. Was this when they had kind of ran and then the sheriff like put the gun on them and made them get up?
No. That's next because they got away, but only to they got out of that county only to be, in
the next sundown county.
Exactly, and the sheriffs was waiting for them, and then that's when they dragged them in the
damn sheriff.
I was like,
oh, he was following them and everything. I was so mad.
Then they couldn't go past the speed limit to not get stopped. Oh,
they couldn't go past the speed limit. Exactly. It was just like, listen, everything was against them.
Every roadblock to get you to end your life.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. What happened? They go to the woods and then bam, those monsters.
Karma happened to the sheriff.
That's why I was like, what is going on with these monsters?
Yes, I was like.
And that is when I knew Lovecraft Country was not for me in the nighttime hour.
I already knew that. I said, Bianca, you can't watch this at nighttime. You cannot watch this at night because she couldn't even watch Doctor Strange at night, okay?
Oh, my God, baby.
When I was watching The Haunting of Hill House, I did it in the morning at 9 a.m. No.
So, Lee, you muted. Okay. All right. So the monsters came out with all these eyes and everything like that.
Yeah. Oh,
and it was like disgusting. Like it was gore, but it was great.
It was great because they exacted some vengeance.
They
And
did.
I said, now how the hell the sheriff running his mouth? You got one arm and you telling folks what to do. The monster done bit your arm off and you still
Because he had the
running your mouth.
shotgun. So he was like, he still felt like he was in control.
Right.
And
So it's
then he was like,
indicative
no,
of-
Nettie, you run. He was like, no, you run. You.
It's just like how they are in real life. They
Yep.
can be one leg, one arm, but they think they are. They have their white supremacist attitude that they still in control when they about to get their damn head bit off, which is what happened.
He actually turned it to the
He
to
turned
the
it to the
monster.
one that had to get shot. Yes.
No,
Now
he
you
turned,
did.
right. So he turned it to the monster, and all the while, Letty hauled asses.
Letty
she
like,
went
I'm
to
out.
go get the car.
She went and got
Letty
the car. Yo, she was like, like, she didn't even look back. She was like, look, this is my focus. If I look back, I'll probably fall. I'm focused. I'm going to get here. Bam, the good sis got the car. And what? Boom.
Boom.
Yes. Yo, so I think that was a great episode. They was, and again, that chick in the white sedan probably had something to do with it, calling off the goons, the monster goons. And that's how that first one episode. So what do you guys rate? Emily, what are you doing?
Donald lost his sock in the bed. I was trying to find it was under the pillow. So I was moving the pillows around trying to find the sock.
Okay.
We just woke up. Sweet.
All right, so that was the end of the episode. So how many bags of popcorns out of 4 would you give episode 1?
4.
I'm giving it a 4 because I was just like, I mean, when you are used to seeing things like of old that we used to watch, like X-Files and different things like that, and now they come up with something that embodies the Black experience even now, linking it to Jim Crow, and then you have this sci-fi twist that was crazy. Oh, that's a 4. That's 4 popcorns for me.
Yeah. I
feel like I like that they're capturing this idea of no matter what we go through, like we're still Black as well. So it's like they got to deal with all these monsters, but they still got to deal with all of the racial injustices. And I also like that they touch it on the struggles of even being a Black woman. Like even though Letty is fair skinned, but those, you know, how just how they made her go run because they feel as though she's lesser than them. Like, you see what I mean? Like the sheriffs and them, just them treating her as a Black woman as well. Like it's still a different struggle for her too.
Yeah, that's a good point, Lee. And the truth of the matter is, we've proven time and time again in our culture that we are the strength.
Yep. Cause she literally saved the day. Cause when she came and
like
come out the car,
like we do.
Yep, like we do. Yep.
Like
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and dive into episode 2. Episode 2 is called Whitey on the Moon, and you know that's based on a poem about how they want to use all this resource to get Whitey on the moon, while the Black people are out struggling, don't want to sow into the community so we can eat and have better education, better way of life, and all that stuff. So, but all right, so we will get into it. They have amnesia. Uncle George and Letty. It comes on with them feeling like they moving on up like the Jeffersons. I love that they put that on there. But we moving on up. Letty had a wardrobe of all the good couture, as they would call it back then.
Yeah.
And Uncle George had all his favorite books. He was all with his books, sitting there with his leather slippers on.
they was on the east side.
Guys,
And the deluxe wasn't even an apartment, in the mansion.
Yeah, so right, so
and that turned real quick too.
Yeah, because Tick was like, "Wait a minute, y'all not remembering anything? Like, what happened?" They all like,
oh, what?
But once it comes to George,
pepper.
His inner Black man didn't, his inner colored Negro was like, look, they looking at us, let's not make a scene, sit down and we'll talk about this later. You know, let's talk about this later. But they had their lunch. Then he hears some noise, that noise of the whistle, and made them go invest. He went to go investigate a strange noise, of course. They had to go investigate a strange noise.
Listen, people need to mind their business.
But
that's the problem.
He's like the lead
We're not
character.
supposed to be doing that.
He's the lead character trying to find something else. So, you know, he had to go investigate that noise. But in real life, no, we're not investigating that. No, we'll let it manifest. We're not going to go see it.
Welcome back, Sash. We on episode 2 now.
That's like I was something happened and I forgot what it was. Like out here, you can't tell if somebody, you know, shooting fireworks, whatever. And so Donald went to the window to look. I was like, what? If you don't get out that window? He was like,
oh, Donald investigating the strange noise.
Yeah, like because I remember, and I don't know if you all remember this, years ago, there was a woman who was found dead in her bedroom window, and she was shot in the face, and nobody could figure out how she got shot. This was in West Philly. And come to find out, it was a shooting on the street. She went to go investigate and got shot in the face. And her family found her dead in the bedroom because they was like watching, coming out the room to get ready for work. I'm like, don't be nosy. That's not for us to do. Don't go running being nosy, seeing what's happening.
Had to go investigate a strange noise because he's heard that investigate that whistle. Called off the monster goons, which led them to see. It was so funny because Uncle George was like, "Are you the sheriff?" Because clearly this tower is the jail. And she was making all kinds of subliminals about, you know, colored people being not that black part. Did you hear that part?
They calling them beasts, and they think they're smart, but they're not. They think they're not, but they're not.
And then she was like, "Y'all don't look like you could be guests of him." Okay.
And y'all out there looking like the PWT, still like out here where I live, you looking worse than us.
Okay.
Like looking bottom of the barrel, and you want to like still be judging.
A high Kenzo mess, but you telling me I can't be there. Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, like, you know, Tick was like, I know my father's here somewhere. Yeah. So he was like, he got to be in there.
And he was right.
So moving forward, you know, they on their way back. Once again, it's sundown. On their way back, and they go to boom. Those monsters again, and then the good sis had to call them off and be like, pew, pew.
Here she come again.
That whistle again.
He knew that. He was like, I knew that strange noise was something about those monsters. And they get Letty in because they're not of that blood. They get sent to their rooms. And I think like a spell or something get casted on them because
they don't know where they are.
Right. And then he sends, and she sends Tick to the lab all the while, aka Fitz. Okay.
Yes. I know. I was like, what? You know, it's hard to remove people from a character that you're used to seeing them in.
Yes,
I was like, what is the president doing up in here?
They taking a piece of his liver.
A lot.
Oh, God.
He was like, don't eat that.
Come on, Fitz.
Yeah.
No.
But in true Uncle George fashion, he is not going to pass up trying to investigate and try to figure out further because they realized that they started forgetting again because once they saw the monsters again, and then they was like, why are we still dirty? So in true Uncle George fashion, you know, very knowledgeable black man, and he go read a book and he ran by the bylaws.
Yeah.
And they go out to dinner. They all suited and booted. Of course, you know, because she's a colored woman.
Yeah.
So suited and booted. And it was so funny because Uncle George was about to, you know, like, he like, don't eat that.
Don't eat that. When they put that stuff on a plate, when they put the plate down, I knew exactly what it was. I said, I know he is not serving these people his daggone liver.
Okay. They could have at least battered and fried it.
They think, you know,
I don't even eat liver.
But they thought this was they was trying to do something. What is
going off of the whole idea of, I guess, was it going off the idea of what is it? What Eve came from the red?
Because he mentioned
because
that
he was trying to go back to the Garden of Eden.
Yes, because he was Adam. Yeah.
Yeah. He mentioned
Yeah,
it.
he was Adam.
And see what happened to him.
Exactly. All right, so he oh yeah, Saj, before we go, before we move on to that, what do you give out of 4 bags of popcorn? How many bags of popcorn do you give the first episode?
How many bags of popcorn? Out of what? Out of 5?
No, out of 4. 4.
Out of 4 bags? The first episode? I think I'll give it a 4.
There you go. Yeah, we all in agreement. Yes, 4. Yeah, 4 out of 4.
It was a nice setup.
Yeah.
That episode made me want to watch the rest because like I said, I didn't know what to expect and what I was going to feel. That episode was like, oh yeah, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch the rest of it.
So after after Uncle George, try to play tick because they was the colors in the group. Uncle George had to let them know, like, listen, he have a right to be here by the bylaws, tri-laws, by the high laws. And
we have a seat at this table.
Yes,
yes,
exactly. We belong here. So that didn't sit too keen on them. So they got sent to their respective rooms.
And still didn't want to listen. He like, leave. They sitting there like, whatever.
Right. Sorry, so we're going to dive into, once they in their rooms, some things start going on, like with Nettie.
Oh my God, that freaked me out.
That really freaked me out because she's daydreaming or under some type of spell, but I guess they were dealing with like they innermost, like, I don't know what to call it, but
a trauma or something.
Yeah, past trauma that they was playing up on. Because we're not going to skip to 3 real quick, but on 2, like she was pouring her heart out to whatever manifest that was supposed to have been. Actually was the devil because it was a serpent. Because remember he had a serpent Winky. Confided into the possession of Tick about how she was feeling trauma and was willing to be intimate with him, and then the damn serpent come out. I'm like, what in the middle?
Yeah, damn, she ain't never gonna give him none after that. That's what I was thinking. all that body he got, she ain't never gonna give him none after that snake came on.
Right, and then Tick, his was fighting off because he was in the Korean War, and it was like, it was first, like in the first episode, it was like a Korean what was it, alien, that woman in purple or red, and then he started fighting that Korean soldier woman.
And remember he called somebody over there. I'm still trying to figure out what that's about.
And told them, and she was like, I told you were home, didn't you? And I told you not to.
Yep.
I thought it was interesting when he was fighting the Korean lady, though, that he was like, it was almost like he thought that she was an ally at first, because he was pretty much like, yo, stop. And then,
He didn't seem like he wanted
like somebody he knew.
Yeah.
It's the same situation with Letty. It was somebody that she thought that she knew. Like she thought it was Tick and didn't realize, like, hold up. Yeah. So that was crazy. So moving on, child. Whew, they finally found Montrose.
Out the dirt.
Chalky white.
Yes.
Wait, quick question.
Yes.
What about is that the part? Is the before when she runs to the barn? Is that before they find Montrose, right?
Yes.
What was that all about? Because I'm confused when she ran to the barn and that thing was born.
Well, I was wondering about that too.
Yeah, she was birthing out.
I thought it was a cow having a baby. That shit was like another monster.
Yeah, she gave birth to the yes.
And she
That's
was,
why they listened to
all
her.
like, loving towards it and everything too. But it was her first time. Like,
it's my first time. I'm like, is this thing a cow?
Born out of a cow. I can't.
I just figured it was probably going to tie in the next episode.
I think it's going to tie into some kind of way. Some way it ties in. Yeah, because they surely don't give us anything that doesn't tie into something.
It's true. She is.
They get the uncle. I mean, they finally find Montrose. They try to get away, and what happens?
The daggone wall. Put the wall up.
They were zooming too. I was like, yeah, they out.
I knew something was up with that bridge.
Yeah, like it was too easy. It'd be too easy for them to get away.
Yeah, like
Right,
sci-fi stuff is always like a bridge or some type of portal or like exit or
Bridge to
something.
Terabithia.
But question,
Ooh.
don't you feel like something was crazy about Montrose being reluctant to leave and stuff like that too?
Yeah.
Because I think he know more than I think he know a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, but
And is that like linked to you want to stay with what you're familiar with and not venture out and leave, so you stay when you shouldn't?
Right. Yeah.
But how long had he been there?
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah, how about that? Well, I guess 2 weeks or 3 weeks. We don't. The timeline is between that because the landlord, started saying like he ain't been here, and they was like, and they haven't heard from him within like 2 weeks. And,
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah. So, or it could be longer. We don't know what snail mail is like back then. So when he got the letter, but yeah. So they do some. They pretty much kill Letty. They kill him. They both get shot. Well, actually, they really did kill Letty. She died right there on that bridge.
I was like, what's happening?
I was like, this is a real like Game of Thrones. Like, really? Like, you just going to just take Nettie out like that?
Yes. Episode 2 at that.
At the beginning, like what the hell?
Yeah. So what was your reaction? So they get back into the they get back to the house and they give them this whole ritual, and the girl was all happy. And this woman just have a whole soliloquy about everything. I don't trust her with a can of paint.
No.
She seemed like she wanted to be an ally, but she really is about herself.
It's something about it, the whole situation, that she trying to get something out of it too.
I agree.
That's what it appears.
I think she wanted to get something out of it to be a head on top, like to be the
from her dad or something like that. Because
she got to get the brother out the way.
Yeah, or something where like she, was saying like their destinies are tied together, like with the two of them. It's something that's tying them together, and it's almost like she needs something for Tick and something with her dad to get whatever she wants. I feel like something is going to come out of that, but she's definitely the devil.
Yes, well, they did some, they did some mummy stuff and Medusa stuff. Craft, because he done they done did all this stuff. He was looking up. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm cheating on Yahya Abdul Mateen II every time I see Jonathan Majors, because he even looked good in that little cloth that they put him in. And they did whatever that's what the hell they get. And I know that the daughter had something to do with it because she sabotaged something, and his power just wiped out wiped her, and they turned him to stone. I wonder if they stay stone. I don't know, but
and it seems like they turned into pillars of salt, because what is that like?
Yeah, the pillars of salt, like when like Lot's wife, when they told him don't look away.
Yeah.
They looked away. Or like the Raiders of the Lost Ark, when they was like, don't look inside the ark, and they was like, oh, I see, and everybody turned into skeletons and stuff.
Yeah.
It was too sacred.
Yeah.
And then after all that, they spared Letty. They let her come back to life, but then while they was trying to get away, Uncle George. Yeah.
I was devastated.
And he got to be coming back, because you trying to tell me that Courtney B. Vance signed on a contract to be in 2 episodes?
That's what I was thinking.
Courtney booked and
My
busy
brother
Vance.
is too smart for that.
Leah called him Courtney booked and busy Vance.
It's no way that he's only just doing. He got to be coming back.
I just don't believe it. I'm just like, I got to get to episode 3 because I haven't seen. So I'm like,
because what did they do with his body? Where is he? He got to be coming back.
That's what I'm saying, because what his body. Sorry, so we're gonna go ahead and end episode 2. We wrap that up. Whitey on the Moon, how they use the black man. They use all that stories to try to And how many bags of popcorn do y'all give episode 2? Talia?
That was
You give it 4. Bianca, how many
Another
bags of
4.
popcorn do you give episode 2?
I would give it. I give it a 3.5 bag.
3.5
I
bags.
was I was left wanting more.
Okay. I was
Well,
7.
But that's gonna give
we're-
us to the next episode.
Let's get us to
Well,
the
no-
exactly.
No, I feel like not in the sense that I just feel like Uncle George like dying there, that kind of stuff, and like when he told him that he could choose and he shot him before, like yeah, it's a 3.5 bag, but that could just be me in this current climate with these WPs that I have issues with. So maybe that's why I give it a 3.5 bag.
Yeah, the Uncle George thing is tough. So I feel you on that.
That's rough. It was rough.
Yeah, lose Uncle George was tough.
Yeah, what we go through in this country already, I'm already on edge.
Yes.
He was a good father figure.
He really was a good father figure. Yes, he was. He was a good husband. You could tell he was loving him. His wife was like, they had a healthy marriage. They had a good relationship with their daughter. You know what I'm saying? So how many bags did you give it, Emily?
4.
Okay. What about you, Sad?
I gave it a 4 too. And I was just gonna say that's the thing too that made it so sad with Uncle George, because you saw the flashbacks even in that episode with him and his wife. But then you need to see it in that way. It's kind of like, ugh.
And they gave
But in the flashback, that wasn't his wife. That was his sister.
Oh,
that was what's his name, mother.
Yeah,
right.
And it also gave us an opportunity to see like where the bloodline go, because apparently they was like he was overly nice to, and they all knew what that means. Overly nice to slaves, meaning like knew what that meant. So. So I give it 4 bags out of 4, popcorn bags out of 4 too. So all right, so we're gonna go into this last episode, and we're gonna wrap this up. Last episode, episode 3. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name.
But you took notes, Pop, because I be forgetting some stuff. I'm gonna have to start taking notes when I watch this show. She
is facilitating this thing, okay?
Okay, so episode.
All right, I didn't see it, but I'm okay being on this. I don't want. It won't spoil it. I'm still gonna watch it, but I'm just listening. I won't chime in because I didn't see episode 3, but I'm listening.
Okay, sure. Okay, all right. So episode 3 called Holy Ghost. I don't understand why Emily says that Journey gets on her nerves, because the girl brought it this episode.
Yeah, I think it's maybe if she. I don't know. I mean, I might need her to gain a pound or 2 or something. I be feeling like she gonna fall apart. She walking on extra hard, like, miss, your leg is gonna break in half or something. Jesus, like, she is doing good, but it's like too much. Like, sis, eat a biscuit. I don't know.
Dang, Emily.
All right, so this is a couple weeks. This is a couple weeks later after Uncle George passed away. And
we think he passed away. I don't know. I'm still in debate of that.
He might still be in Lovecraft Country.
Yeah,
right.
Ain't no funeral. No funeral.
Yeah.
What about it?
Because that's why if you see during this episode how grief-stricken that she was, because tearing the books out, and that he loved books, but my heart just felt so bad for her. Because listen, even though he was only 2 episodes in, that was all our Uncle George's, okay? All right, so Daddy gets and she said she came across some money and she bought their house, okay? And it was so crazy because you could tell the dynamics of her and her big sister is tension, but she still wants to please her sister. So that's why she was like, look what I brought us. And she wants to feel like she can want to give back to the community as well, because she was like, I can rent it to our folks around here too, our people. And, we can make money off it together and stuff like that. And her sister was, a little bit reluctant, because we all know the dynamics, they showed it, because, her sister felt some kind of way while she was out living her life and doing whatever that she was. And I think whatever happened that she couldn't make it to her mom's funeral, I think that's going to come up.
Yeah, probably so.
Probably so.
Because I want to know.
Even in episode 2, we didn't even touch that. It was so much. Even in episode 2, when she went to go see her family, and then her brother was arguing.
Oh yeah. And
Uncle George was and Tick was about to do something, and he was like, "That's family business. Stay out of it." When they was doing. But yeah, so I think something is going to come up. So
She had mommy too. That might have been why she didn't go.
we say, babe. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Lee, she froze. So she'll come back. We'll let her in once she come back again. All right. So she get the house and Holy
Some
Ghost.
weird stuff start happening.
It's ghosts in there.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff you need to watch in the daytime is on.
You know, this is the episode that Bianca definitely had to watch in the daytime. But listen, they look like it was all beautiful black people in there.
Yes.
Okay, everybody was dressed to the nines. And of course, the white people was not trying. You back, Lee? We see you. We saw that the white folks in the neighborhood was not trying to have it, trying to steal our joy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because while Nettie was dancing and all that stuff, and she could see Tick looking at her, and Tick looking like getting a little low key jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think she was going to want any of that snake after the snake, but maybe that was a part of her memory. Maybe that memory left her.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah,
Maybe she lost that memory. I don't know.
well, I
Not for long.
I guess she knew it.
She lost it like the monsters.
So, how about them? All right, so how about they getting busy in the bathroom?
That was nice and hot. That was a good turn of events.
Listen, and she made a disclaimer that was her first time.
Because she was bleeding. And he was like, she act like she didn't know her period was coming on. But then after the fact, she said that was her first time.
Yeah.
Right, but remember the guy said we used to roll around together, if you know what that means. This is the typical of men lying on their penises.
Uh-huh.
And she was a virgin, and they probably swore up and down that she was like promiscuous all around.
Right, because she was a firecracker.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't really the case. Yeah. Okay, so she come and find out. So the white people come and start harassing them, and then they all try to have a good time, and then they burning crosses on the daggone lawn.
And she spaz out.
She lemonade.
She lemonaded on them, but I love
they
how
should have played that one. It was fun.
I love how Auntie rolled
she said
up with the car to get all of the weapons out of the way. That was my favorite when she rolled up and got the weapons and pulled off with them.
Yes, and then
how they protected her too.
Because they knew what the deal was.
That's what we mean by black men protect us. Like
that's y'all. So they go, so everybody get on the line. They get there. She gets blocked. She gets put in the paddy wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, that's our house. You know what's going on in that house. That house is haunted. How did you get that house? So when she went back in the house, she started to notice the house was haunted because little things was happening. Like sheep was coming down on her with that one arm thing. And
oh God.
Listen.
It was scary.
It was scary. So when she talked to Tick and she found out that when Tick went to go look for her, she was like, yo, my house is haunted. Some things is going on with this house. Yo, it was crazy because those unrest souls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. It was just the guy doing unthinkable things to our people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
As guinea pigs, like the.
Yep. That's like when they was doing, all the stuff that they do to us.
Henrietta
Lacks. Airmen. Then that one guy that was doing the surgeries on the women without anesthesia because they felt like the black woman was the strongest, so they be all right, no anesthesia. You doing gynecological experiments.
The creation of gynecology is
right. Oh my gosh.
What'd you say, Talia?
Yeah, I said, I was agreeing with Miss Emily that the creation of gynecology was racist.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So so they had to go get the good sis in the goat and say, listen.
They had to bring on that voodoo. I was watching it because we just came back from New Orleans and we went to the whole voodoo museum and all that stuff. I said, oh, they got the good sister up in here bringing out all the spirits.
Yo, okay, so she had to get the voodoo. They got the good say she was about it. Soon as she went up to that porch, she took that blood, she killed that goat and started marking.
Oh my gosh.
And then they went in the basement. She was like, this is where it come from, in the basement. And so it was that one white doctor that did all those unspeakable things in there in that house. They knew what was going on. And it was crazy. So when she got that voodoo lady, unfortunately, the voodoo lady couldn't, you know what I mean? Sorry. I mean, she was a casualty of war. Unfortunately.
Things
But
happen.
Atticus came in and they finished doing the thing and they got around, they started continuing to chant that voodoo stuff that lady, the voodoo priestess, was telling them to chant. And they got them, and it was crazy how all the souls they were so damaged. Like it looked like it was a woman that they took her fetus out and she was holding it. And
Oh my goodness.
it was just this gory things. Like it was just in a man arm.
And it looked like they tried to put the head on the baby's head on a man's body or something like that.
He was like
put a baby's head on a man's body. It was just crazy.
What?
So
Like,
then,
dude, what are you trying to do to these folks? Like, what were you trying to experiment?
and you could tell as their soul was becoming whole, so they could be rested, their bodies and stuff started becoming whole. Started they started rejuvenating and all that stuff, and his ass got sent to the underworld, I guess. But she was like, "Get the fuck out of my house, yo, Bernie." What was your? Listen, I was like this.
Yeah, that was some good acting there. I mean, she still need a biscuit, but
so we didn't really want to ruin it for you, but that one called Holy Ghost, I think that was a great episode to be called.
And I did like to go back a little bit how when they were at the party and the kids in the basement, and this kind of makes me think, okay, like, so still, where is George? Because one, the whole Emmett Till reference. I mean, I did pick that up. And then when they asked
in there,
then when they asked something, they was like, "Who is this?" And it spelled out the girl, George, the girl, Uncle George, and the girl got upset. The daughter got upset and ran out the thing. So I'm like, is he trapped somewhere and his spirit is not free? Is he like? Where is the hell is Uncle George? Are they gonna tell us in one of these episodes?
Is he gonna show up in the house where the other spirits are?
Right.
But then the white folks got up in that house and the black spirits tore them up alive.
Yes, the white folks came in there. It was like they was coming there after, she eliminated all their cars, bashed it up. They'll come back. They break into the house. And these spirits are still on unrest in the house. The house is unrested. And they working on trying to get these spirits out. But these white people come in, these 3 white boys come in here to try to wreak some havoc, and the house tore them to a new.
One got burnt up by the radiator, the other one.
Thank you. Burn them.
Yup, they got burned up. They took them out, and they died horrible deaths. Okay.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it.
Yes. Yes. All right, guys. I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Lee, did you take a picture of this chat?
Wait, let me finish washing my hands. Oh, my food here. I had to come in the bathroom, wash my hands. Wait, let me finish washing my hands.
So I did record this live. I mean this meeting because I just want to see how I can make things better. I'm not. I want to do this every 2 weeks. And they did drop episode 4 early.
Yeah.
And they also gave us upcoming for episode 5 too as well. So they didn't give us.
I didn't see that. I gotta see.
But no, they didn't give us the episode, but they showed us like, okay, next or whatever. I thought they wasn't going to do that, but they did. And
I didn't see that. Or did I? No, I don't think I saw that.
Okay.
For some reason, my TV cuts like once it gets to that part.
Oh, okay. All right. So I want to thank y'all. So we're going to watch 4, 5, and 6.
I'm gonna take notes. I'm gonna have to go back and watch episode 4. It was a lot going on. I need to take
There's a
some
lot going
notes.
on in episode 4. So,
Yeah.
so Sash, once you get off the phone with get off this meeting with us, I want you to go ahead. Oh, before we leave, I thought that was a phenomenal episode. It was so much going on, but it wasn't too much that you was like, what? But it leaves something at the end for you to be like, okay, what's going next?
3 gets 5 bags of popcorn.
Oh, okay.
Especially with
So how many bags of
Journey's
popcorn?
acting.
Yeah, how did you? Yeah, how many bags of popcorn? Yeah, because Journey and Jonathan are really they have chemistry. They really do. And I really enjoyed it. So what do you think? Oh, so how many bags of popcorn do you get out of 4 bags? How many bags of popcorn do you get, Emily?
4
bags. Okay. Lee, how many bags of popcorn do you give episode 4? 4 bags. Okay, so with that being said, all 3. So I guess I don't know the math or whatever like that, but 4 they get 4 bags. I guess they get like 3.8 or whatever like that. Because you gave them like 3.5 and everybody else gave 4. So
I gave him a 5, so it leveled out.
Oh, okay. Okay. So basically, we're saying this is nearly a perfect season for the first 3 episodes so far. So, guys, I'll see y'all coming back in a couple weeks, and I might have something else, another Zoom about all things something else.
Okay.
We can talk about it too. But in the meantime, yes, we're gonna take notes. And like I said, like I did, because I wanted to be I didn't want it to be all over the place. So thanks everyone. So hold on, I just want to put in this chat. So we have 4 bags. I don't need to do that anyway. Anyway, but thank y'all for coming out and joining me. And it's 7:07. Oh, it's not that bad. I said it was gonna be over at 7 o'clock. It was only 7 minutes over.
All right, ladies.
All right, ladies. Y'all have a good one. Bye.
Bye.